Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the IAA Mobility Visionary Club. We are coming to you from the Munich Urban Collab, where the Future Tech Days are taking place. Startups and corporates in the mobility space are meeting to exchange ideas and energy. My first guest today is from a startup. Welcome, Volker Hartmann. You're the VP of Legal and Governmental Affairs at VAY. Good to have you.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Tell
Hi.
me in one sentence, what is VAY?
So VAY is a deep tech startup, Berlin-based, and what we do is we build a teledrive technology. Teledriving means you remotely control a vehicle, and we also develop a corresponding mobility service.
And you're launching this tele-driven mobility service later this year?
Yes, so the plan is we are following a step-by-step go-to-market strategy, and the plan is to launch the service in Hamburg later this year. And also the first time without a safety driver in the vehicle.
Okay, that's exciting. How has the journey been so far, especially from a legal perspective, because that's where you're coming at it from?
Yes, so I'm the legal guy at the company, and of course, I mean, it's a lot of fun because it's a new technology. There are many legal questions connected to teledriving, and we do have a complexity because we build not only technology and a product, but also a mobility service. So. That brings a lot of legal questions, but also from a regulatory perspective. We have a lot of interaction with competent authorities because we use, for the moment being, exemption permits, because it's a prototype vehicle we are using in our fleet.
What do you hope to achieve in your role? What does success look like for you?
Yeah, so of course, in my role, I hope to contribute to a successful go-to-market. That's clear, and legal is like one of the most important gatekeepers. We have to make sure that we have a safe and reliable product in the market at the end. So, yeah.
I imagine being VP for Legal and Governmental Affairs at a teledriving service that's operating on exemption permits is like a giant headache. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but tell me, what is the biggest challenge that you've had so far?
Yeah, so I mean, I've been counseling autonomous vehicle projects before, so I know what headache means, right?
So you knew what you were getting yourself into.
Well, yeah, the big advantage and the difference between teledriving and automated vehicles is we still have a driver, a human driver, which is also important from a legal standpoint. It's a big difference.
Why? Why is it important?
Because you still have this human being in control of the vehicle. Yeah, first of all, it's a challenge, and I can tell you it's a challenge to program a robot in a way so that this robot behaves in compliance with a law made by humans for humans.
Yeah.
That's not easy.
The laws weren't made for robots.
Yes, exactly. The other thing is, this is more like the theoretical legal thing. The other thing is the teledriver still is a human driver and behaves naturally. So whatever happens, an accident, a construction zone, the vehicle behaves more naturally, like you and I would expect it to be, and not like a robot who probably got stuck.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So what does the legal department look like at a company like VAY? What are you doing all day?
Yeah, so what we are doing is pretty much everything. So legal is like, we also have like commercial contracts, corporate law, everything. When you run a company, no matter whether you produce T-shirts or you program robots, right? But there's also a lot of topics deriving from the product and technology. And of course, there's a lot of complexity because what we do is we have a lot of interaction with engineers. That means you have to translate between engineering language and legal language back and forth. This is also a lot of fun, I believe, because I think this is really the cool part of the story.
Is that your favorite part of the job?
This is my favorite part of the story. Yeah, so I would consider myself still as a tech lawyer. So I really love and I'm really into product liability, product safety law, and what we call product compliance as a whole, right? And then you have to be very like creative and structured at the same time, and you have to be agile in your thinking, but also binding in your legal advice, right?
Yeah.
So to help the engineers to really get that thing legally compliant developed in the end, right?
That sounds tricky.
It is. And also we have to do things differently compared to traditional legal departments, if I may add that, right?
Please.
Because there is this complexity from engineering, the product, the mobility service, etc. So what we try to do is we do things differently. We use design thinking, for example, in our legal work. We use several legal tech instruments, like for creating contracts, etc. But we also use, and this is what I'm really proud of, we use a digital ticketing system and a digital Kanban board. Like our
what does that
engineering.
mean? Break that down for us.
So these are. I mean, in the engineering sector, it's pretty common. These are common work tools. People work with a ticketing system and with a Kanban board, so that you can, really track and control your work streams and your workload. That means the engineering team, for example, for the camera sensor, can send the legal team a ticket and can ask for legal advice.
Okay.
I can answer the ticket, right? And that's like a very digitalized work stream, and that is very different from a traditional legal department as I know it, for example.
So a classic legal department, probably not working on a ticketing system, but that's something you've introduced to sort of promote innovation.
Yes, correct.
So big picture here, not the corporate answer. Where do you see VAY in 10 years?
So, there's different dimensions. First of all, from a product or technology dimension, I would be super happy to see our product in vehicles all across the globe. So really, we want to help, resolving the transportation issues in metropolitan areas. That's one thing. The other thing is we are now, 150 employees or so. So we are a growing startup, and in 10 years from now, I hope to see a grown company, which means a little bit more settled and a little bit more structured, but also at the same time, I would be happy to see us still having some of the startup attitude, right? So that the whole agile work style, etc., is not, covered by old school structures or so. Yeah, so we can really be still creative. Yeah.
So you're still going to be taking tickets in 10 years?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
All right.
Or whatever then is top of the notch technology to use, yeah.
So you're open to something new?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you have to. I mean, this is also like, what I expect from lawyers working on my team, and this is how the legal team acts, we have to be on eye level with our agile engineering teams, really, yeah, and to be a business partner and enabler. And this is why you have to use these instruments and tools, right? Because this is the language and the style they are working.
Yeah,
right?
Makes a lot of sense. Volker Hartmann, it was great having you here today. Thank you for sharing your insights, and we hope to see you again in 10 years to check back in.
Yeah, sure, we will.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
That's it for this episode of the IAA Mobility Visionary Club, coming to you from the Future Tech Days here at the Munich CoLab. If you want to find out more about how startups and corporates are working together to change the mobility of our future, tune in to our next episode. I'll see you then.